Well, take a look out your window right now. Some bolts of lightning and cracks of thunder lighting up the night sky as we speak. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. We start tonight with a weather alert. Thunderstorms moving through the region. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy DeGoo for a quick look at the forecast. Jeremy?
Well, Mark, I've received quite a few messages from quite a few different viewers from quite a few different areas saying this is one of the best lightning shows they have ever seen. And I've got even better news for you. Sure, it's a little bit of lightning and a little bit of thunder, but there's no risk of severe weather right now, so you can just get out and enjoy the show. But as always, avoid being out in a place you could get struck by lightning. So, from the window of your home. Let's talk those storms. We had that one just go through Spokane, and that just in the past hour, let's knock it down to the past 30 minutes and then hit play. There you go. Is now moving its way just to the north and east of the city, but there's another little band back behind it. But notice the convection's starting to slow down. We're tapping into a lot of the energy in the atmosphere, so expect these to wind down within, say, the next hour. But that being said, dumping quite a bit of moisture and then moving out of the region. What a beautiful show we all got to take part in. And then down to our south, it's starting to dry out and move out. So, yep, the lightning show winding down rather quickly. That will move out overnight. And tomorrow, we wind up very warm, and if you're looking for more lightning, we likely see more, but with temperatures a little warmer and the storms arriving a little earlier in the day, it is more likely that we see some threats of severe weather. We'll be tracking those here all day long.
All right, sounds good, Jeremy. Thank you very much. In other news this evening, an emotional night in Cheney as hundreds of people gathered to remember Braden Bain, the high school student who died last week following an injury during PE class. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk was at tonight's vigil.
Is just take a deep breath and just look around just for a minute. Just look around. If that didn't bring chills to your arms, I don't know what will. So thank you for being here.
Holding candles and at times each other, hundreds of people who knew sophomore Braden Bain gathered at Crunk's Sports Complex in Cheney 4 days after the teen lost his life in a horrific accident.
Braden was a really sweet guy, and everyone who knew him was incredibly blessed.
The Cheney Fire Department says Braden was impaled when he fell onto a goalpost during PE class last Thursday. He was rushed to Sacred Heart Children's Hospital, but doctors were unable to save him.
Last week is just about as low as we get as a school.
Cheney High School Principal Brett Hale says it was comforting to see students wearing blue for Braden today, along with his soccer jersey number 7. Braden's mom hugged as many students as she could tonight and stood alongside his teammates, friends, and former teachers.
This kind of a kid doesn't come along that often, and it shows a lot about these two people standing right up here and what they did to raise this young man.
Braden loved to fish. This boat was his happy place. Students were asked to sign and write messages all over it.
I really miss him. I wish, he was here. And he's looking down and looking at everyone.
Braden's family created a GoFundMe to help pay for funeral costs. So far, it's raised nearly $30,000. The family says any money left over will be used to create a youth fishing program in their son's honor. Reporting in Cheney tonight, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
We are continuing to follow a deadly hit and run that happened over the weekend. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, 2 people were found dead on the side of the road near Airway Heights. Earlier this afternoon, suspected driver Megan Skillingstad made her first court appearance. KREM 2 spoke exclusively with the man who called 911.
I kind of just hollered real fast as I was riding by and she didn't answer. So I got on a hold of 911 as I was passing her and just said do a wellness check or see if she just needed a ride.
Spokane County court records show a defendant matching the name and age as Skillingstad was also involved in a 2011 deadly hit and run. We are working to confirm the possible connection. And now to a story that we have been tracking just since about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Spokane police say 2 separate drivers were shot out on the South Hill, and one of those drivers was hit. It happened on 29th and Ivory Street. According to Spokane police, 2 different people called 911 to report they were shot out while driving within 1 minute of each other. One person was actually hit and taken to the hospital but is expected to survive. Police are still searching for the suspect or suspects at this hour, but they haven't released a description of who or how many people could be involved. New tonight, the Spokane City Council discussed an emergency ordinance to be voted on at next week's meeting. That ordinance is in regards to a letter that council sent last week urging them to adopt a safe open spaces ordinance. It's to address what they say is an increase in illegal drug use in the community. Tonight, City Council President Brienne Bagg said the benefit of the emergency designation is that if it passes next week, it will go into effect immediately. And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. State lawmakers increased penalties for hazing on college campuses. Just this afternoon, Governor Jay Inslee signed the bill that increases the penalty in cases where someone is seriously hurt or killed to felony charges. The new law is named after Sam Martinez, the Washington State University freshman who died in a hazing-related incident. His parents helped get the law passed. KREM 2 spoke with Sam's mother ahead of the bill signed into law.
That feels so incredible to me to be able to say that Washington is sending a clear message that we have no tolerance for hazing, and we actually mean that. We're going to put some teeth behind that.
The new law will be in effect before school starts again in the fall. We also learned today Governor Jay Inslee intend to seek a fourth term as Washington governor. In a statement, he touched on his role in Washington State's climate policies and protections against gun violence. Today in Olympia, Inslee said it felt like the right time to begin stepping away.
But there comes a time, there's a season for everything, and this is a season to pass the torch. So I'm going to be very engaged in the next year and a half. My dad was an old track coach. He said, you always got to run through the tape. Well, I'll be running through the tape the next year and a half.
Inslee was re-elected in 2020. He is only the second governor in the state to be elected for a third consecutive term. And former Spokane County Sheriff's Deputy and one-time candidate for sheriff, Craig Chamberlain, has died. His family confirms he passed away suddenly last night. Chamberlain served with the Spokane County Sheriff's Office for about 2 decades. He entered the race for sheriff in 2022, but withdrew amid some controversy. Former Sheriff Ozzie Knezovich fired Chamberlain after an investigation into his conduct. Chamberlain claimed the firing was politically motivated and related to his plan to run for sheriff. The family says they are in shock and so far have not said how he died. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them right to your phone. In some national news tonight, legendary artist Gordon Lightfoot has died. The Canadian-born singer-songwriter passed away at the age of 84 from natural causes. His song Sundown helped earn him a spot in the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Lightfoot made a name for himself by the 70s. His distinctive voice and powerful storytelling made him beloved by millions. In other national news, 2 missing teenage girls were found dead inside an Oklahoma home along with 4 other bodies. 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer were declared missing earlier today. They were said to have been traveling with a convicted rapist. No causes of death have yet to be released. The body of Jesse McFadden, the man they were believed to be with, was also found at that property.
It is time that Mr. DeJoy step up and recognize the Postal Service for the essential workforce that we are, and he pays us what we deserve.
Today, the American Postal Workers Union held a protest outside the Riverside Station Post Office. That protest centered around delays in mail delivery and lack of staffing in the Postal Service. Today is May Day, a day to bring attention to workers' rights all across the globe. And trending tonight, one of the biggest nights in fashion wrapping up as we speak. The 2023 Met Gala showcased celebrity models and artists on the red carpet. This year's theme centered around Karl Lagerfeld. The late German designer was best known for his work with Chanel. Tonight's most memorable look was worn by Jared Leto, who dressed up like Lagerfeld's beloved cat. All right, looking ahead to a story that we're working on for tomorrow. Earthquakes, of course, a big concern over in Seattle on the west side of the state. But what about right here in eastern Washington, specifically Spokane?
Is it true that there's a fault line that goes down Division Street, north and south, that runs?
Like an earthquake fault line?
Yeah, like an earthquake fault line.
Okay. So join us tomorrow on KREM 2 News at 6 as I ask the experts about fault lines in and around Spokane.